Being a single mom comes with many daily struggles. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about 5 of the most common struggles that single moms encounter and how to overcome them. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. I am Margot Staton of BeGoodToYourselfByMargot.com, and here I help working moms get organized and create balance in their lives. So today we're going to talk about specifically 5 struggles that single moms encounter, and especially single working moms. And most importantly, we're going to identify the problem, and I'm also going to provide you with a solution for each one of the problems. So stick around. So number 1, and probably the most stressful, is not having enough money. Again, when you are a single mom, you're essentially relying on one income, and that is a struggle onto itself, not to mention the fact that you have children in play as well. So the problem is that you don't have enough money. Now, what is the solution? Well, there are a few, right? And there are many. I'm only going to touch upon 3. The first thing that you can do is, try to find multiple streams of income. So for example, I have 4. I am a single working mom, and I have 4 different streams of income. And yes, you're probably thinking to yourself, oh my God, one job is extremely draining. How can I manage 4? But again, it's strategically, it depends on a combination of things. Do the additional jobs require that you work on your own time? Is this something that you can do after your little ones go to sleep? But, finding ways to come up with, other sources of income will definitely help with the problem of not having enough money. And again, it's not an easy one, but it's something that, I hope you guys are open to. And leave a comment down below. Let me know, how many jobs do you work? What do you do? Another solution for not having enough money is budgeting. A lot of times we actually don't realize just how much we make versus how much we spend. And I don't mean come up with some elaborate budgeting system, but you should come up with maybe create an Excel spreadsheet where you input, this is what you get from your job or your multiple sources of incomes versus this is what you're spending. And when I'm talking about this is what I'm spending, it will include everything, right? Your rent, your gas, your car if you have one, a Metro card, food. I mean, literally everything that you spend, right? Your purchases on Amazon. And you always want to make sure that you're spending less than what you're making. And a lot of times what you'll realize, even though you're kind of just swiping your credit card and you're not noticing all of these purchases, but most frequently you're actually spending more than you're making. So why I love a very, very simple budgeting system is because you get a clear vision of where you can kind of downsize and eliminate. Like for example, for me, many, many years ago when I did a budget, I realized that I was spending like $300 on coffee a month. And I didn't even realize. I was like, oh my God, this is insane. So what I did is I invested in a coffee machine, and I actually make coffee at home now. Again, it's just one example, but you want to first assess what you're making and where your money is going. Another solution for sort of not having enough money, and you might not want to hear this, is to downsize. Maybe you're living in a 3-bedroom apartment, and yes, maybe you have a few kids and you obviously want the bigger space, but the question is, can you afford the bigger space? Because at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you're happy and your children are happy. And that you have enough money to, pay the bills, to have basic needs met. And I think that when you create a budget, you'll also be able to see if this is something that you need to do. But sometimes, kind of downsizing and going from a 3-bedroom to even temporarily a 1-bedroom, you're going to be able to save a lot of money. And then again, this is not the end all be all, right? In a year and 2 years and 3 years from then, you can, buy a house, you can move into a bigger space. But in the now, you want to do everything that you can to make sure that you have enough coming in and that you're not overspending, or rather spending what you don't have and getting into debt. Number 2, which is a huge problem for single moms, is this issue of co-parenting, right? we're not all necessarily on great terms with, the fathers of our children. So that tends to in itself create a lot of stress and anxiety and be at times unpleasant, right? With the custody agreements and then maybe having your ex, see the children, and then you run into issues of they're supposed to come pick up your kids and they don't. There are all of these things that kind of go into co-parenting. So the problem is that it's extremely unpleasant. The solution, and something that worked for me, it took me probably a good 3 years to kind of come to this place, is pick your battles. You are no longer with this person. So my hope is that you're better off. It doesn't make sense to, create war over every little thing, because at the end of the day, what's best for your children is that the two of you get along and you guys are great parents and that your kids are happy. So I find that when you change your mindset and you realize that, you're on your own, this is how things are, this is the reality, it doesn't make sense to fight over every little thing. It causes a rift between the two of you. It negatively impacts your child. And at the end of the day, why do you need more stress in your life, right? So pick your battles. Number 3, not having a social life. As single moms, especially as single working moms, there are not enough hours in a day for us to accomplish everything that we want to accomplish, let alone having a social life. It could be things like mommy guilt, right? If you work, for example, and being a working mom takes you away from your child, we feel guilty, if we want to maybe go have lunch with a friend. So not having a social life is a big one. Also, as moms and, a lot of my friends, it's like, well, we don't have time. The solution here, and I know you're going to be like, what? Make time. Obviously, we no longer have the lives where we can go out, 4 days a week, 5 days a week. There's no more, happy hour, and life has changed, especially if you're a single mom. But at the same time, you can make time. It might not be as frequent as you would like. Maybe it's once every 2 weeks. And how do you accomplish this? Ask for help. It could be getting a babysitter. It could be, getting your parents or, a relative to help and watch your children for an hour or 2. But you need to make time because, yes, you're a mom, but at the same time, you're also a woman and you need social interaction that's not only engaging with your kids. Number 4, everyone can attest to this. As single moms, as single working moms, we are tired all the time. Being a mom is exhausting. It really, really is. And that's okay, right? We chose this. It's a wonderful thing. Our kids make us so happy. On days where I'm exhausted and my daughter wants to play and she wants to dance and I'm like, oh my God, I can barely move because I'm so tired. But somehow you find the courage to make your kids happy. But the point is we're tired all the time. The solution for that is prioritizing your time, but most importantly, like I mentioned before with number 3, not having a social life, is ask for help. My hope is that you have people in your life that would help, have offered to help, and maybe possibly you turn them down because, again, at the end of the day, as moms, we think that we got this, right? We follow this motto of, I got this, I can do it, nobody can do it better than me. That might be true. But you're tired all the time and you need a break. So asking for help periodically will help you in the long run. Number 5 is feeling that you're not good enough, right? So a lot of times, especially as single moms, a lot of things go into our heads, but we don't truly value our self-worth. We have a lot of mommy guilt. We feel like maybe we're not making enough money to provide our children with the best environments and the best things. But we often question our abilities as mothers. The solution for that is, while it's completely rational and happens all the time, is stop doing that. Okay? You are a great mom. At the end of the day, if your kids have a roof over their head, if your children are happy, if they're taken care of, you're doing a great job. Furthermore, if you're the kind of mom that always questions whether or not you're being a great mom, you are, okay? Because you're always constantly trying to better yourself, right? You're always constantly sacrificing yourself, right? Your joy, and oftentimes your own self-care to give to your children. So you're a fantastic mom, right? There's no such thing as perfect parenting. Oftentimes we make mistakes with our kids. I've done it. We learn from them, right? That's the best that we can do. But stop questioning your own abilities as a parent, because that only adds to your stress, that adds to your anxiety, and it's really not a good mindset place to be. So those are my 5 problems and solutions to sort of what single moms encounter on a daily basis. I hope you found this video helpful. I release brand new videos every Wednesday. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. And if you got value out of my video, hit the like button. And always remember to be good to yourselves.